Okay, welcome to AI Dungeon. So, what AI Dungeon is you can click Quick Start. Let's do Zombies. Scientist. I'm gonna name my character Doug. You are Doug, a scientist trying to survive in a world filled with infected zombies everywhere. You have a backpack and a solar-powered tablet. You pound your fist on the table, angry that you still haven't found the cure to the infection. You turn to your assistant and say, "We need to find a different way out of here." Your assistant Frank replies. So what I can do is edit this, so I can just... Oh, wait. No, never mind. So I'm going to leave this blank, so that way I let the person who's not me reply. There we go. Alright, so your assistant Frank replies, "Don't we already? We've been trying to get out for days." You say, "Yeah, but the old man said we should look for another way out." You look around the room, trying to see anything of use. There are a few doors, but they are locked. There is a small window, but it is too small for you to squeeze through. Tablet has a few apps on it. There's one that looks like a calculator. You tap the screen a few times and get a blank screen. The tablet has 2 gigabytes of memory. You have 1. I'm just gonna fix that error. Alright, how much? Okay. You tap the screen, hoping to get a menu to appear. Instead, the screen turns black and a few error messages pop up. You tap the screen again, trying to see what the problem is. The tablet has no more memory. You tap the screen one more time and it turns to static. You say, "Well, crap, my tablet is fried." You go to the front door, but it is locked. You go to the window, but it is also locked. You kick the door in. You enter the room and immediately see a zombie wearing a purple dress crawling towards you. You stomp the zombie's head in. You continue to stomp the zombie's head in. It's a lot of bothersome work, but you manage to kill the zombie and stop it from moving any further. There is a desk, but it is unplugged and there are no papers on it. An unplugged desk. You look for doors. There is a large old wooden door on the far side of the room. It is very heavy and hard to open. You try to open the door but can't even budge it. You try to get your assistant to help. You call to your assistant, Frank. Hey, can you come here for a sec? Frank comes over to the door and tries to open it, but can't budge either. But can't budge it either. You and Frank try to open the door together, but you can't budge it either. You look around the room and suddenly notice an old wooden chair sitting right in the middle of the room. You bash the door in, using the chair. You can hear the splintering sound as the wooden chair breaks through the door. You go through the door. Ooh, a choice. You push through the door and notice another corridor on the other side, or you go through the door, you enter the room and immediately see a zombie wearing a brown dress stumbling towards you. You go to the desk, but it's too dark to see anything. This one makes more sense. You look around the room, trying to see anything of use. There are a few drawers, but they are empty. There is a desk, but it is unplugged and there are no papers on it. You plug the desk in. You plug the desk in. The power turns on and the light flickers to life. You see a large old-fashioned pad and pen on the desk. You tap the pen and tap the paper. Nothing happens because it isn't a computer screen. Tap the pen again. You tap the pen again this time. Tap the pen again, and this time a message pops up. The pen is too old to work with this computer system. Plug the pen in. Plug the pen in a USB reference or try a paper tip. Tap the screen with the flat of your palm and the stylus appears. It is gray on one side and silver on the other. You use the stylus. You pick up the pen and draw a line on the paper. The line you drew is faint, but after a few seconds you can see it. You take the notepad and stylus. You say, Frank, did you open that door? Frank replies, I forgot to tell you, I found another cure. You say, what is it? Frank continues, It's a bomb. You say, a bomb? Frank says, yeah, it's a bomb. You go get Will. You grab your gear and head down the stairs. You continue to head down the stairs just as the building shakes and explodes all around you. You are knocked out from the fall. In the impact, and you are not sure if you have a concussion. When you finally come to, you see that you are safe, or in a safe, secure room. A man in the suit is in the corner reading a newspaper. You say, hey sir. The man in the suit looks up at you and gives you a big smile. Ah, Mr. Rockford. Oh, okay, so it's Doug Rockford. I see you made it in one piece to our fair city. You say, where am I? Last I knew I was in my lab. The man in the suit says, you were lucky, young man. Our driver was the first to get a shrapnel through the neck. You were lucky, young man. Our driver was the first to get a shrapnel through his neck. He was thrown clear of the vehicle, but he bled out before we could get to him. I'm gonna run out of energy soon. You say, so I'm lucky that another person died? The man in the suit says, yes, yes you are. He continues, we are infected because this was planned. The vaccine doesn't always protect, but it's extremely rare for a non-immune to be killed by this one. But the bomb... The bomb... That was an accident, I'm sure of it. You say, was it a radiation bomb? The man in the suit says, no, that would have killed everybody in a 5-mile radius. So, a nuclear bomb. Got it. Wait, what's this? Oh. World info. No, it was an explosive charge, just like a regular car bomb. But they're almost impossible to make and quite easy to spot. But you, Mr. Rockford, you're quite lucky. You leave. You decide to leave the safe room and head back up the stairs. You continue to head back up the stairs. Just as an explosion tears the air all around you, you're knocked back down to the floor. You are knocked out. Again. Oh, I said that. You're knocked out. Again. When you come to, you see that you're in a room with a safe, a newspaper, and what appears to be a giant vending machine. Sit up and look at the safe. You try to open the safe. You try to open the safe, but it won't budge. You look at the vending machine. It has a slot in it just big enough for a quarter. You insert the quarter. The vending machine dispenses the key to the safe. You put the key in the, the safe and it opens. Inside the safe, you find 3 envelopes. You open the first envelope card and find a badge and an ID card. The papers say Agent John J. Rockford, Office of the Director of National Security. That's your brother. He's one of the few people in the world who can get a government to do his bidding. The second envelope contains a wallet with money and a phone. Turn on the phone. And it rings and rings. The third envelope contains some papers and a small black notebook. Read the papers. They seem to be forms of some kind. Read the small black notebook. It says, 7/15/1993 on the first page. That's it. You have no idea what it is, but you pocket the black notebook, the money, and the ID badge. You leave. You head back to your truck and drive to the FBI building. When you arrive, you go to the counter and ask for an agent to speak to. Let's see what happens now. The uniformed attendant smiles and asks, "Will you like a coffee or something while you wait?" You say, "No, thanks." The attendant smiles and says, "Okay, right this way." He leads you into a small cubicle and says, "Just wait here." You wait patiently and the agent arrives to collect you. When the agent asks, "Is there a problem, officer?" You say, "Yes, I found some things in the building. One is an ID badge for my brother. Do you know anything about it?" The agent examines the badge and asks, "Well, it looks authentic, but I don't know anything about it." You say, "What about my truck?" The agent looks at the truck and says, "Yes, I can release it to you, but I need the keys." You give him the keys and he puts the truck in drive. The agent looks at you and asks, the agent looks at you and asks, "Are you really that gullible?" and drives away. Then an explosion tears the air, and you are knocked out yet again. When you wake up, you are in a hospital bed with a large bandage on your head. A nurse is bending over and asks, "How are you feeling, sir?" You say, "I am in pain." The nurse asks, "What happened?" You say, "I don't know." The nurse looks at the bandage and says, "You got yourself a nasty cut on your head, sir." You say, "What about my truck?" The nurse looks around and says, "Sorry, sir, but I don't know anything about a truck." "Wait, you don't know anything about my truck?" The nurse says, "No, sir." You look around, and this time the nurse is looking at you. You faint. When you come to, the nurse is still there and is speaking to someone else. You ask, "What happened?" The nurse looks at you and says, "It's alright, he'll be fine, just rest." You see your truck sitting outside the hospital. The agent who drove away looks at you and says, "I am sorry." You say, "No, that's okay." The agent says, You should you should have told me about this earlier. If I had known earlier, I could have saved you from being kidnapped." You say, "I wasn't kidnapped. Something exploded and I was knocked out." The agent says, "Yes, that's what happened." You say, "Can you tell me who it was?" The agent says, Wait, no, I'm gonna undo that. The agent says, "Frank." You say, "Frank?" The agent looks at you and says, "Yeah, it was Frank." The way it's worded, though. The agent looks at you and says, "Yeah, it was Frank." Also, my AI's at half energy, so it's cool. Most of the way through the video, your eyes begin to tear up. "No, that can't be." The agent puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "He's gone, sir. It's all right." I like how there has been no references of the zombie apocalypse so far, except for up to here. You say, "Mid-zombie apocalypse. What do I expect?" The agent says, "Sir, can you say?" Or you say, "Can you tell me if there's a clear shot to the zombie magnet?" The zombie magnet? The agent looks around and says, Yes, there is. You say, where? The agent looks around and says, I'll find a good spot. You are about to ask, what happens if you miss? The agent says, I don't miss. You say, okay. The agent pulls a small pistol from his belt, fires. The first shot hits the ground just ahead of you, and the second one hits a zombie next to you. You didn't notice the zombie until now. As soon as you get a good look at it, however, you know you're going to be sick. The zombie's jaw drops open, and it falls forward, toppling its neighbor. The two zombies hit the ground with heavy thuds and begin to skitter away in opposite directions while moaning loudly. The agent says, get behind the truck. We need to search the vehicle. You move to the back of the truck and the agent slides behind the wheel. Go, he says. You get in the truck and the agent starts it up. Go, he says again. You look around and see a large duffel bag between the front seats. You open the duffel bag, but duffel is spelled wrong. You open the duffel bag and see various weapons and ammunition. The agent looks at the bag and says, there's a handgun too, and some knives. You look around and say, you say, I'll take the Uzi if that's fine. The agent smiles and says, you got it. He hands you the Uzi and says, be careful, there are many bullets inside. You point the gun at the agent's head and ask, what happened to yours? The agent raises his hands and said, you can't talk about that. It's classified. You gotta get up. The natural light from the outside is starting to fade away. So I need to turn on the light. Light has been turned on. The agent looks at you and says, no, I'm just the driver. Here, take this gun. You take the gun and check to be sure it's loaded. Thank you. The agent says, here, you might need this, and he throws you a small silver knife. You look at the agent, or you look at the knife and say, thanks. The agent says, well, we gotta go. The agent revs the engine and pulls away. Well, he says, let's go. You don't have a good feeling about this. Do you want to continue? Not now. You said that... Oh, wait. Well, it asks me if I want to continue. And I think this is a pretty good stopping point, so I'm going to say, no, not now. My AI has 38 energy left. This video is getting quite long. Yeah. This is pretty nice. There's also quite a few worlds on here. So, like, you can make your own worlds. So, like, if you're one of my annoying classmates, you can make, say, a Fortnite world. Or, you know, there's also scenarios. Most worlds are made by the developers of AI Dungeon, which is pretty cool. Shut up, Simer. That's why I wanted to get done, because I have a time limit. But, yeah. Very nice. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.